I'm continuing my reading, and what I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. I am now finishing up I'm on 1 Samuel chapter 3. This will complete the younger years of the prophet Samuel. So here we go, chapter 3. The Lord called Samuel, house of Eli, not purged by sacrifices and offerings. Samuel recognized as a prophet by all Israel. The Lord appears to him. And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time, when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see, and ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of the God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep, that the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli, and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not. Lie down again. And he went and lay down, and the Lord called yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not. I called not, my son. Lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again, the third time. And he arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go, lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place, and the Lord came and stood and called at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. Just a couple of things before we continue. First, this is interesting, Samuel, he's a young man. It doesn't tell us how old he is here, but he was probably 5 or 6 when he was weaned and given to the service of the temple or the tabernacle. And he's probably between 10 and 12. He's like a deacon. That's what I assume he's about deacon age. And he has not heard any voices. God hasn't spoken to him yet. And so when he hears the voice, he thinks it's Eli 3 times. Now, we're all familiar with this story. I wanted to go back to this one part here where it says, In those days the word of the Lord was precious, for there was no open vision. And yet, in the previous chapter, a man of God came and prophesied to Eli about what would happen to his family. And so what's this discrepancy? And what I think this is that while there was some gift of prophecy, there's 2 possibilities. Either while there was a gift of prophecy among the people, with some people, because we also know Deborah was a prophetess, but either that prophet is no longer around, or that he was just a kind of one-time messenger. He had a brief gift of prophecy, but not the kind of visions that Moses had and that Joshua had. And it was these men weren't called as like presidents of the church. They were individuals given the gift of prophecy. They probably had the priesthood, I don't doubt that, but they may have not been the president of the church. That position may not have been filled. The other option is that these were actually angels and not mortal men. Now, which option is true? I kind of lean towards the option that they were angels. But it does just call them men of God, which would still technically be accurate, but that's how it is. So let us continue this chapter. It's a little it's a little bit of a contradiction, but not a serious one when you think about it. So here we go. Verse 11. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of every one that heareth it shall tingle. In that day I will perform against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knoweth, because his sons made themselves vile and restrained them not. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice, nor offering forever. So God is here reaffirming what he already said. Again, gives us that little bit of a confusion as to who this man of God was. But he's basically telling Samuel, look, I said it was going to happen. It's been a few years. Eli might be feeling a little more comfortable. So, well, it didn't happen immediately. Eli may be thinking, well, God's going to put it off. Well, maybe I'll die before it happens at least. And God's saying, no, it's going to happen. And when it does, it will be fast. It will be swift. It will just start and end. Be over. So he's reaffirming it and letting Eli know that first message was from God and that it will happen. And verse 15. And Samuel lay until the morning and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel feared to shew Eli the vision. Then Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I. And he said, What is the thing that the Lord hath said unto thee? I pray thee, hide it not from me. God do so to thee, and more also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. And Samuel told him every whit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord. Let him do what seemeth him good. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground. And all Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord. And the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. So Eli accepts his fate, and Samuel is made a prophet. I don't think we need to say anything else in that. And I will see you in the next chapter.